Huppert.
Number 13, please, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we are currently considering the initial gate business case for the successor submarine, and as part of the next phase of work we would expect to purchase some long lead items so that the first boat can be delivered in 2028. This is normal good practice for major build programmes.
Dr. Julian Huppert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. How much is he planning to spend on Trident replacement before he gets parliamentary approval in the main gate? And will he seek parliamentary approval of such a spending?
Well, Mr. Speaker, by definition, until the initial gate business case has been approved, I am not able or prepared to give a figure. Of course, we will make this information available in due course when decisions have been made.
Mr. John Woodcock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I say how pleased I was to accompany the Minister for Procurement around Barrow Shipyard a couple of weeks ago. The Defence Secretary knows that the £3 billion of so-called savings in the Trident for Value for Money review, over half of those are in fact deferments. Will he tell the House the increased cost of deferring that and why he thinks that approach is acceptable, given how often he spoke out against it when he was in opposition?
Well, there are two imperatives, Mr. Speaker. The first is to ensure that we have the successor programme. And the second is to ensure that we do it within the financial constraints that the government is forced to take on board, given the economic position that we inherited. We, through the value for money study, as he well knows, look to see how we could, if possible, extend the life of the current programme to minimise the expenditure in early years. That, in fact, not only is helpful in reducing the deficit in the period set out by the government, but ensuring the success of the programme itself.
Munt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It would appear from the answers to previous freedom of information requests that the steel, the computer systems and the combat systems, amongst other things, for the first submarine have been ordered and will have been paid for. And it also appears that the 3 reactors for the first 3 submarines will have been ordered and paid for before MPs can actually scrutinise main gate. I wondered what will remain unspent for the first submarines and whether, in fact, we will be so financially committed that that whole main gate decision is actually made irrelevant.
Well, Mr. Speaker, whatever amount of money is spent on the lead items, technically it's up to any parliament at any time to determine whether any programme can or cannot go ahead. But I would say to the honourable lady that it's very clear from the coalition agreement we are committed to maintaining a continuous at-sea minimum credible nuclear deterrent that will protect this country from nuclear blackmail and ensure that we make our role very apparent in reductions in total nuclear armaments.
Paul Flynn.
How can this government who plan to save money by closing libraries and selling off our forests, justify wasting tens of millions of pounds on a useless virility symbol when they cannot give us any plausible situation in the future where Britain might use its nuclear weapon independently?
I've explained that on the same point to the honourable gentleman before. I can only explain it to him. I can't understand it for him. What is important about the concept of deterrence is deterrence, that we don't need to use it. The whole point is to make it very clear to any potential aggressor that we will not even consider the impact of nuclear weapon strikes being used against the United Kingdom, and we'll maintain a nuclear deterrent to make sure that we never get to that position. That's the whole point of deterrence.
Greg McClymont.
Number 14.